at Azhar, and I have been really informed that people are extremely happy with this new attitude towards friendship and engagement.
I was honoured to have an audience with the Holy Father Pope Leo after his inaugural Mass just a year ago. I found him a very thoughtful, dignified and extraordinary person who will provide leadership not just to the Catholic Church, but will be a very significant figure in global affairs, as was his predecessor, Pope Francis. I think that the three great monotheistic faiths have so much in common that it is indeed a tragedy when we see war and conflict over having an impact on innocent people. And it's not surprising that the Holy Father would speak in favour of peace and justice. And I think overwhelmingly that is what citizens of countries, and in Australia we have we celebrate and respect people of all faiths and of none. And I think overwhelmingly people want to see peace, and we are seeing the consequences of conflict. A conflict on the other side of the world. I think that most people, with respect, I'll speak about my citizens, most people, if you ask them to find the Strait of Hormuz on a map last December, I would be surprised if there was a large number could point to it directly. Everyone knows it now. There are consequences of conflict for a loss of innocent life, but there are also consequences for everybody in the world at the moment due to what is extraordinary negative economic consequences of the conflict, which is why we will continue to argue for a de-escalation and for a resolution through dialogue rather than through military action.
Prime Ministers, Andrew Green from the West Australian and the Nightly, what is the policy of both of your nations when it comes to buying oil from countries which are subject to international sanctions, such as Russia and Iran? And would you be prepared, either country, to pay a toll or levy to the regime in Iran? And with increasing expectations that Australia could soon impose a gas tax in next month's budget, is this speculation hurting chances of securing energy supplies?
Well, the only speculation is from journalists who believe they know what's in a budget that hasn't been written yet. So our budget will be in May, and we will hand it down. But one of the things about Australia is that when we do a deal with a country, and whether it's in writing or a shake of hands or a conversation, we stick. That is one of the things that makes Australia who we are. And so I think that is well understood by our trading partners, which is why we are respected and why we are so trusted going forward. With regard to freedom of navigation, our position is very clear about UNCLOS and has been for some time. It applies right around the world. And I think there was a third bit, Andrew. On the freedom of navigation is what is provided for. We expect freedom of navigation is the basis of international trade, and that is very important, that principle, and it's one that we hold to.
We, as a country, have been engaging with all countries. As I mentioned with the Prime Minister Albanese, that the largest trade in investments is still from the United States, notwithstanding, we have good bilateral relations with Russia. We trade with them. And now I think if there is absolute necessity, we'll have to manage, because my priority, the mandate that I have, is to protect the interests of the people in this country. Similarly with Iran, we have maintained good bilateral relations with the Islamic Republic of Iran, and due to that sort of an arrangement, many of my colleagues in the Gulf and in the Arab world have sought our views and our assistance to convey their concerns and their views to the Iranian leadership. And I think we use that to promote peace and resolution, amicable resolution to the conflict. And on the position whether Straits of Malacca or Straits of Hormuz, we remain consistent. There's freedom of navigation. But there are, of course, issues that must be resolved. You cannot ignore the fact that when a country has been attacked and no assurance of guarantee of security, there are concerns that you must also address. And that's why I think whilst supporting the position of freedom of navigation, we also want a guarantee from countries, big powers included, and so to end that animosity and attack and even sanctions against other countries. So we look at it in a more comprehensive manner. But ultimately, we are for peace, and the Straits of Hormuz must finally be open to avail to the international community, so that it will help resolve major issue confronting not only the region but also the world. Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have now concluded our joint press conference announcing the departure of the Honourable Prime Minister of Malaysia and the Honourable Prime Minister of Australia. The rest of the delegation may proceed to the ground floor. Thank you.